v'Torah or Kiner mitzvah v'Torah or Kiner mitzvah v'Torah or v'Torah or Kiner mitzvah v'Torah or Kiner mitzvah v'Torah or Kiner mitzvah v'Torah or v'Torah or v'Torah or a covenant people you've given, light for the Gentiles to see, lift prisoners out of the dungeon, and out of the dark set them free. Oh, ha'olam, Messiah has come, the light of the world when the Torah is unfurled, with a face as bright as the sun. Oh, ha'olam, Hanukkah's come, a light in the night, a flame burning bright, until idolatry's done. Instructed out of the Torah, a light and a guide of the blind, corrector of those who do not know. Your word a lamp and the Torah is a light. Oh, ha'olam, Messiah has come, a light in the world, the Torah is unfurled, with a face as bright as the sun. Oh, ha'olam, Hanukkah's come, a light in the night of a flame burning bright, until idolatry's done. People who know their Messiah are strong and rise up to fight. Those who rise will teach many, shine as the stars in the night. Oh, ha'olam, Messiah has come, a light in the world, and the Torah is unfurled, with a face as bright as the sun. Oh, ha'olam, Hanukkah's come, a light in the night of a flame burning bright, until idolatry's done. Okay. Hag ha'or, Hanukkah ha'beit, Nes gadol, Hashem ben Zayit, Halik menorah, Sukkot hashani, Hag simcha zikron ha'magabi. Hag ha'or, Hanukkah ha'beit, Nes gadol, Hashem ben Zayit, Halik menorah, Sukkot hashani, Hag simcha zikron. Again. Hag ha'or, Hanukkah ha'beit, Nes gadol, Hashem ben Zayit, Hadliket menorah, Sukkot hashani, Hag simcha zikron ha'magabi. Ata'or, 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 ha'olam. Kiner mitzvah v'Torah or Kiner mitzvah v'Torah or Kiner mitzvah v'Torah or v'Torah or Kiner mitzvah v'Torah or Kiner mitzvah v'Torah or Kiner mitzvah v'Torah or the Torah or the Torah or. In the dark of the night, we lift up the name of Yeshua Adonai. Come fill your bowls with oil from the menorah on high. follows after me will not walk in darkness, but have the light that allows you to see. Oh, I'm the light of the world. Oh, Ha'olam Anochi. You will see, come and be in the light. Know the truth. The truth will make you free. We praise you for your spirit, and we praise you for your light, for the way through darkness, for your mercy and your might. Oh, we praise you for your oil. Oh, we praise you for your love, for pouring in the vessel your oil from above. Oh, Ha'olam, you are the light of the world in the dark of the night. We lift up the name of Yeshua Adonai. Come fill your bowl with oil from the menorah. Oh, I am the light of the world, he that follows after me will not walk in darkness, but have the light that allows you to see. Oh, I am the light of the world. Oh, Ha'olam Anochi. You will see, come and be in the light. Know the truth, and the truth will make you free. Oh, we praise you for your spirit, and we praise you for your light, and for the way through darkness, and your mercy and your might. Oh, we praise you for your oil. Now we praise you for your love, and for pouring in the vessel, oh, your oil from above. The light of the world in the dark of the night. We lift up the name of Yeshua Adonai. Come fill my bowl with oil from the menorah on high. You say I am the light of the world, he that follows after me will not walk in darkness, but have the light that allows us to see. Oh, I am the light of the world. Oh, Ha'olam Anochi. You will see, come and be in the light. Know the truth. The truth will make you free. For your spirit, we praise you for your light, through the way through darkness, and your mercy and your might. Oh, we praise you for your oil, and we praise you for your love, pouring in the vessels your oil from above. Lord, I ask that you would pour your oil, the oil of the seven spirits, the Sheva Ruachot into us, the Spirit of the Lord, the Spirit of the fear of the Lord, of Chochmah, Bina, Etzah, Gevurah, and Da'at. I thank you, Lord, for your wisdom, your knowledge, your understanding, your counsel, your strength. And I ask that you would pour into your body, all over the world, your body, to have the dross, the filth that's in the oil, to come to the surface, to be scooped off and removed, so that it's a pure Jewish oil, a pure oil from your bowls. In the name of Yeshua. Thank you, Abba. This is, it's so funny. Like I said, MiKetz is like, it's the strongest Torah portion, at least about the fight between Judaism and the rest of the world. And this, it's just hard to even talk about or approach. So I'm not going to really blast into it. We're going to look instead at kind of like the perimeter. But I have one point in this whole teaching. It's one simple point. And I'm not going to tell you what it is right now. It's going to come up later. It's in red. I've put it in red. And it is really the point of the whole teaching. But, there's a lot in the Torah portion to study. So, this Torah portion is called MiKetz, which means from or at the end. And because it says the end, all the rabbis immediately, what do you think they think about? The future to the what? The day of the Lord. They immediately think of the day of the Lord, and that's where their mind goes. And so this whole story of Joseph is a picture of at least the first part of the day of the Lord. Now, it happened at the end of 2 years, MiKetz, at the end of 2 years, that Paro had a dream, and behold, he was standing by the Nile. And behold, from the Nile, 7 cows came up, fine looking and fat, and they grazed in the marsh grass. Then behold, 7 other cows came up after them from the Nile, ugly and thin, and they stood by the other cows on the bank. And the ugly, thin cows ate up this... I can't even read this without laughing. Do you know where mad cow disease comes from? Cows that eat cows.
Yeah. Oh, really? I thought
Yeah.
it was sheep.
No. Mad cow disease comes from, like when farmers and people raise cattle, they'll butcher the animals, and some of the meat will get into the cow's food, the grass and stuff they eat. And that's where mad cow comes up. So it's cannibalistic cows. And I picture that every time I see this. Skinny cannibalistic cows eating up big fat cows. That's what he saw. So Pharaoh awoke. He saw this. He woke up. He fell asleep, and he dreamed a second time. And behold, 70 ears of grain came up on a single stalk. So it's one stalk with 7 ears of grain coming out from it. And they're beautiful, they're fine looking, they're fat, plump and good. Then behold, 7 ears, thin and scorched by the east wind, sprouted up after them. And the thin ears swallowed the 7 plump and full ears.
I never noticed that it said east wind.
Yes, east wind is, do you remember what east wind is?
Yes.
What is it?
It's Barak, and it's
No, Barak is lightning.
lightning.
The east wind is a picture of the coming of the Messiah. Mm-hmm. We did this, I think, 2 years ago. We looked at every passage about the east wind, and it's always the coming of the Messiah. Always. It's the coming of God in judgment, coming of Messiah. So, this scorched by the east wind, and they swallow up the 7 plump full ears. Then Pharaoh woke up, and look, he was a dream. So my question is, how many dreams did he have?
Just 2.
Okay. Now in the morning, his spirit was troubled, so he sent messengers and called for all the soothsayer priests of Egypt, all the magicians and all the soothsayers and all the brujos and the brujas and all the what do they call the witches and warlocks. to say, interpret this for me. And Pharaoh told them his dreams that nobody could interpret to Pharaoh. Then Pharaoh sent word and called for Yosef, and they hurriedly brought him out of the dungeon. And when he had shaved himself and changed his clothing, he came to Pharaoh. Now, anything I have emboldened is what we're going to talk about. So this is really important. They hurriedly, like real fast, went and snatched him, pulled him up out of the dungeon, shaved, changed his clothing, and where does he go? To the king. Quickly, quickly, quickly. Pharaoh said to Yosef, I have had a dream, but nobody can interpret it, and I've heard it said, you hear a dream, you can interpret. Pharaoh said, in my dream, behold, 7 cows, fat and fine-looking, came up out of the Nile. They grazed in the marshland. Then he tells them the whole thing, and the Torah records the whole thing all over again. Then behold, 7 other cows came up after them, poor and very ugly and thin, such as I'd never seen for ugliness in all the land of Egypt. And the thin and ugly cows ate up the first 7 fat cows. Then I woke up, and I saw also in my dream, singular.
So it was one dream?
But in the
And yet, it says, he dreamed and he fell asleep and he woke up and then he fell asleep again and dreamed
a second
a second time.
Yeah.
Okay? Right, continuing. It's a serial. Right,
Part 2.
a serial. Came up and let's see, I saw in my dream, and behold, 7 ears of grain full and good came up on a single stalk, and behold, 7 ears withered, thin, scorched by the east wind, sprouted up after them, and the thin ears swallowed the 7 good ears. There was nobody who could explain it to me. And Joseph said to Pharaoh, Pharaoh's dreams are?
One.
Pharaoh's what?
Dreams.
Plural. Plural are one.
It was continued.
Well, it's more than that. It's
a confirmation.
It's more than that. It's the same thing at the same time, and yet there's 2 of them. So what he's saying is they're both the same. They're at the same time. They're at the same place. They're the same message. They're the same everything. It's just 2 different camera angles. So there was no one who could explain it. And Joseph said to Pharaoh, if they're one, they are one. God has told Pharaoh what he is about to do. The 7 good cows are 7 years. Where does he get cows are years? Isn't that strange?
We must remember that.
Yeah, we must remember that. And 7 good ears are 7 years. Who says 7 good ears of grain are 7 years? Where does he get this from?
God.
Yeah.
Well, it's more than that. It's from Judaism. Remember, Abraham did Judaism, and who did he teach it to?
Isaac.
Isaac. And who did Isaac teach it to?
Jacob.
Jacob. And who did Jacob teach it to? His son. Now, Joseph was only around Jacob for how long? 17 years. But in those 17 years, he learned all the vocabulary of Judaism from his dad.
And Shem
And from his grandfather, Isaac, too.
from the tens of Shem and Eber.
Let's see, I got lost. Where am I? 7 good cows are 7 years. 7 good ears are 7 years. The dreams are 1. He says it again. The dreams are 1. The 7 thin and ugly cows that came up after them are 7 years. Again, where does he get the thin, ugly cows are years? And 7 thin ears scorched by the east wind are 7 years. So he's saying this. He's saying I'll just use 5 because my hand has 5 fingers. Here's 5 years, and here's another 5 years. They are 1. Now, you can't live that out in reality. This is how you live reality. 5 years, and then after that, 5 years. But that's not what's happening here. You have 2 7-year periods that are exactly at the same time, overlapping each other. But to live it out on the earth, it has to be one after the other. Does that make sense?
No.
No? Okay. Spiritually, you can say you have 5 years laying on top of 5 years. One is in the south and one is in the north. Okay, still same 5 years. And they're laying on top of each other same time. But in reality, like if you're going to live, like we're going to live 5 years, then we're going to live 5 years. 5 years good, 5 years bad. You can only have them one after the other. So, we'll talk more about that. Now what it says is, it happened at the end of 2 full years. Now this phrase is MiKetz, which means from the end, or at the end. And I've got a few other passages here. There's more in the scriptures, but I got these because these are important. Vayhi MiKetz shnatayim yamin. And it was at the end, or from the end of 2 years of days. Vayhi MiKetz, and it was at the end, or from the end, shnatayim yamim. Shnatayim is years. Yamim is days, years of days. Or that's why they translate it full years. In other words, it filled up its days. It's all the days are there. It's a biblical idiom. Genesis 6:13. I don't know if you've ever seen this, but it says, and it was at the end of days that Cain came. Did you ever see that? It was at the end of days that Cain came and killed his brother. Did you ever see that? So this story of Cain and Abel, Cain and Hevel, it's not about Cain and Hevel. It's about the day of the Lord. Because it's MiKetz Yamim, from the end of days. Well, you know what the end of days is, which we're going to look at some more. The end of days. It was at the end of days that Cain came. Isn't that strange?
Yeah.
Kind of amazing, huh?
I didn't notice that.
Yeah. Genesis 6:13, we've talked about this one. I'm sorry, I gave you the wrong address on this one. I think it's chapter 4. Either chapter 3 or chapter 4. So, chapter 6:13, Ketz kol basar balifne. The end of all flesh has come before my face. This is God talking. The end of all flesh. But when's the end of all flesh? The day of the Lord. And so, it's come up before him, and that's why he destroys the world with a flood, as a rehearsal of the day of the Lord. Ketz kol basar, the end, kol, all, basar, flesh. Ba lifnei, has come up to my face. Now Deuteronomy 15. Now this is talking about the Shemitah year, every 7 years. And then every 7 times 7 years is what? The Jubilee. And it says exactly the same thing. You count off 6 years, and then the 7th year is a Shemitah. You count 49 years, and the 50th year is a Jubilee. Same picture. The way it says it in Hebrew is MiKetz. At the end, MiKetz Sheva, 7 Shanim years. At the end of 7 years comes what? Comes what? Relief, freedom, release. Right? Either the Shemitah year or the Jubilee year. It's the same thing. It's a release. It's freedom. And that comes when? At the end, MiKetz Sheva Shanim. At the end of 7 years. So why can't we say at the end of 7 days? At the end of 7 days comes release, freedom. Now this one is fascinating. Vayhi MiKetz Esrim Shana Shlomo. Vayhi MiKetz Esrim Shana. At the end of 20 years, what happened? Shlomo builds his house, and he builds the house of the Lord. At the end of 20 years, Shlomo builds the house of the Lord, and he builds his own house. So we're going to see what that's a picture of.
Is one of those not Deuteronomy 15?
This one.
Because you put it twice.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is 2 Chronicles, chapter 8, I believe.
Okay.
I'm sorry about that. All right. Now it's going to get tricky. Trickier is right. Now it happened at the end of 2 full years. These first 2 are totally wrong. Totally wrong. They're out of place. They're written wrong. They're said wrong. They're ridiculous. They're either the biggest lie in the Bible, the biggest contradiction and lie in the Bible, or Alexander the Great was a picture of the false Messiah. I'll tell you what I mean. Now, you see all these verses are all in Daniel, right? Why? Because Daniel used the phrase MiKetz, or a variation of it. What does MiKetz mean?
The end.
Yeah.
The end, from the end. He's the one who used this phrase more than anybody. And these, by the way, are not all of them, but I ran out of space. I think there's 3 more that he used, but they say basically the same thing. Son of man, understand that the vision, this is in Daniel chapter 8, the vision is to la et ketz. La, to, et, time, ketz, end. You know how people say it's the end times? There's no such phrase as end times. There's time of the end or end time, singular. The word et is singular. Et, time. Ketz, end time.
It can also be looked at as the beginning and the end because it's the aleph and the
No, that's a different word.
That's a different word?
Yes. Et, time is ein tav, not et aleph tav. So, the end time. This is in Daniel chapter 8. Do you know what Daniel chapter 8 is about? It's about this. That there's a big ram with 2 horns. And then this shaggy goat shows up with 1 horn in the middle of his head. He's a unicorn goat. And he comes rushing at the ram and bam, blasts into him and shatters his horns. And God says to Daniel what this is. This is Alexander the Great. And the 2-horned ram, who did Alexander the Great destroy? To take over the kingdom of the world.
Persia, right?
Very good. Medo-Persia. Medo-Persia, yes?
Yes.
But look when he says it's going to happen.
In the end.
In the end time.
So it's a foreshadowing.
But very specifically, Alexander the Great, who spread Hellenism throughout the whole earth. And remember, in Revelation chapter 12, it says that the beast that comes up out of the water is a leopard. And the leopard in Daniel chapter 4 is Greece. It's Hellenism. This is the beast. Now, he's not the one who does the abomination of desolation, but Alexander the Great, out of anybody on the planet that's ever been here, is the picture of the false Messiah to come. He's the one. Because this is la et ketz. This pertains to the time of the end. And he says it again in 8:19. I tell you what will occur at the latter indignation. What's the latter indignation? The birth pangs. At la moed ketz. To the appointed end. Does that make sense? So this is pretty amazing. That Alexander the Great, who created and spread Hellenism, he then says about this, that 1 horn gets broken off, and what happens? 4 horns come up, right? 4 horns come up. Who are the 4 horns, Becca?
Lysimachus.
Seleucus.
Seleucus.
Cassander.
Ptolemy.
And Ptolemy. Very good.
Yay, Becca.
All right. And Seleucus was the one who created, the king of Seleucus, his child, was Antiochus. The one who the Maccabees fought. But look what happens. He says, out of one of those horns, which is Seleucus, a little horn comes up, which speaks great things against God and exalts itself against God as being God, and that's the false Messiah. Where did he come from?
Seleucus.
Seleucus Antiochus. Antiochus. That's pretty amazing. Which came from Alexander.
Right.
So everything about the false Messiah, you can trace back to the hairy goat, Alexander.
Wow.
Now this is a major thing, because for many years, Hellenism has always bothered us. We've always railed against it, but now really starting to crystallize that the false Messiah, the beast, the whole way of the false Messiah is Hellenism. Okay. Now, Daniel 11, as he tells his story in chapter 10, 11, and 12, it's the longest running prophecy in the Bible, and it's all about Hanukkah. It's the longest running prophecy in the Bible, and it's all about Hanukkah, and then into the day of the Lord. Well, in 1127, it isn't into the day of the Lord yet. And it says, as for both kings, north and south, their hearts will be intent on evil, and they'll speak lies to one another, but it won't work. It won't succeed, because Ketz Lamoed, the end is to the appointment. In other words, it's still coming. The Ketz Lamoed, it's still coming in the appointment, at the appointment. Then in 35, now we're in the day of the Lord. And some of those who have insight will fall, to refine, purge, and cleanse them until et haketz, the time of the end. Et ketz, time of end. Because it is still to come, la moed. So what he's saying is, everything is appointed in the day of the Lord. All of this stuff, I'm telling you, in the longest running prophecy in the Bible, with just a ridiculous amount of detail, it's all in the day of the Lord, at the moed, at the appointment, and I'm telling you about every detail about it. And it's all et ketz, the end time. 12:4, Daniel, keep these words secret and seal up the book until when? Yep, where'd it go? Et haketz, the time of the end. Seal it up until the et ketz. Daniel 12:9, he said, go your way, Daniel, for these words will be kept secret and sealed up until et haketz, until the time of the end. And 12:13, but as for you, Daniel, go to, now it gets kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Daniel, go to haketz.
Go to the end.
How can he go to haketz?
The Spirit, the Spirit, and the Spirit.
Then you will rest and rise for your allotted portion at Haketz Hayamim, the end of days. So therefore, when is the resurrection?
The end of days.
In the Ketz.
And the kids. Catch it if you can.
Ketz me if you can. So the resurrection we know is going to happen in the Ketz. There's no doubt about it. And he links it with the indignation. Remember? He said that the indignation will be at the Moed. Same time. So the indignation, imagine I have 7 fingers. The indignation, the birth pangs, is 7 years. And the 7 years of the marriage banquet, they are one. At the same time. But you can't live that out on earth. You have to live 7 years and then 7 years. But in reality, they're a picture of them being one at the same time. Okay, take a look at this for a sec. Huh?
I just love that piece.
Oh, I thought you said that is so complicated. Because that's what I was thinking. It's so complicated, it's so complex.
You said et is time?
Mm-hmm. Et is time.
It's Ein Tav.
Ein Tav.
Interesting.
Okay, so again, it happened at the end of 2 full years. So look down at the 7-day plan of God. What year did Yeshua die? 4,000. And immediately 2 days come. And then a 3rd day, which is the day of the Lord. So you have 2 days after the death of Messiah, and then comes the 7th day, or the 3rd day. If you're counting from the death of Yeshua, it's the 3rd day. And here it is here. Here's the beginning. Day 1. Day 2. That's going to get too complicated right now. Day 1. Day 2. Here's the Akedah, when Abraham binds Yitzchak. And he sees into the future to the day of the Lord and to the day of Messiah's death. Day 3, day 4, and here's the death of Messiah, and this yellow doesn't appear on the actual piece. I just added it because I have yellow here. Just so you can see it in a circle. And here's the 2 days. So what comes after the 2 days? The day of the Lord, the kingdom. Okay. So let's think of it like that. Let's think of this prophecy. It happened at the end of 2 full years. At the end of 2 full years, what comes? MiKetz. Genesis 41:1. And it was at the end of 2 years. Now, 2 Chronicles 8, there's our verse that I got wrong. 2 Chronicles 8:1. And it was at the end of 20 years, or 2,000 years. At the end of 2,000 years. At the end of 2,000 years, that Solomon built the house of the Lord and his own house. So Solomon is a picture of Messiah, right? Mm-hmm. And at the end of 2,000 years, he builds the house of the Lord, the temple, and his own house, the house of the kingdom of David. All right? Hosea 6:2. After 2 days, he will revive us. What does revive us mean? Resurrection. After 2 days, the year 6,000. After 2 days, the year 6,000, he will resurrect us. On the 3rd day, there's the 3rd day, he will raise us up, the resurrection, so that we may live before him. Does that make sense? So what day are we going to be resurrected on? 7th or the 3rd. Yeah, depends on where you start counting. Death of Messiah or the beginning. Okay, now, this thing about the 3rd day is really cool, because how old was Joseph when he was pulled up out of the prison and went to the king?
30.
Exactly 30 years old, which the scriptures say. 30 years old, 3rd day. So he's a picture of it being the 3rd day. Now, if the pattern holds true, what day should he be pulled up out of the prison?
Rosh Hashanah.
You got lost. After 2 days he will revive us, and on the 3rd day he will raise us up. So after 2 days he will revive us, and on the 3rd day he will raise us up. If the pattern holds true, what date should Joseph be pulled up out of the prison?
Rosh Hashanah.
3rd day.
What date?
Yom Kippur.
That's when we're going to be resurrected?
No, it's Rosh Hashanah.
Rosh Hashanah, because that's when we're going to be resurrected. So if the pattern holds true, so what should we do? We should go to Judaism and see what they say. See what our sages say. Do they say that he was pulled up out of the prison on Rosh Hashanah? Wouldn't that be amazing if it did?
They do.
Let's find out, shall we?
Yes.
Do let's. First of all, it says in Genesis 41, Joseph was 30 years old when he stood before the presence of Pharaoh. It's so simple. Talmud Rosh Hashanah, it says it. On Rosh Hashanah, Joseph came up out of prison. Done. There it is. The Gemara asks, where do we get this from in the scriptures? As it is written, sound a shofar at the Rosh Chodesh, at the covered time of our festival day. For this is a statute for Israel, a judgment of the God of Jacob. Psalm 81. This is a reference to Rosh Hashanah. How do we know? Because it's the only festival that you blow a shofar at the new moon.
Right.
Right? However, what does that have to do with Yosef?
Beats me.
Okay, I'll show you in a bit. It's in the scriptures. I'll show you. And look at this. From Se'ena Urena. He was rushed from the pit. Our sages learned from here that the redemption comes from troubles. In other words, at the same time as the troubles, as the birth pangs. Joseph soon became king. He was pulled up out of the pit and immediately he was raised up. Okay? So what they're doing is they're linking the birth pangs with the resurrection, and Joseph is a picture of it. Make sense? That's why it's MiKetz. That's why the name of the Torah portion is MiKetz, because it's all about the end. It's not about Joseph. It's all about the day of the Lord.
The day of the Lord, who is king.
There's also one of the sages, on Wednesday I taught about this. I don't know if you got your dedication, but on Wednesday, the fact that the sages say that he's rushed, and that's exactly how it's going to be at the end. That everything is a rush thing. They have to flee.
Okay, let me get this on the tape. So the sages say that when Joseph was pulled up out of prison, he was rushed. Because it says that in the text, he hurriedly was brought to, and because the day of the Lord, maybe you remember this verse, maybe you don't, it says the time will be shortened. Unless those days were shortened or measured, no flesh would be saved. Right? It's a compression of time in the birth pangs.
And then the sages also say, and the fact that he is shaved and his clothes are changed.
We're going to get to that.
Okay.
Okay, so how come this doesn't say anything about Yosef? It talks about that he was taken up at Rosh Hashanah, but then it quotes this verse in Psalm 81. What does that have to do with Yosef? Well, Yosef is in this verse. It just doesn't say it, and here it is. It says, blow the shofar at Rosh Chodesh at the covered moon. Now, if you're reading a King James or a couple other versions, it destroys it.
TLV.
Well, I don't know. Does TLV say at the full moon?
81. The Psalms 81?
Yes, 4 through 5.
Okay. Blow the shofar at the new moon, at the full moon.
Okay, stop.
Festival.
Did it say full moon?
At the day of...
Did it say full moon?
Sir?
Okay, that's wrong.
Is it wrong, really?
Yes, it's wrong.
Yep.
The full
Blow
moon.
the shofar at the new moon. And then at the,
Okay,
at new moon.
that's correct, but then it says at the full moon. Now I'll tell you how they got that wrong and why it says that in some of the translations. Because in Hebrew, what it says is at the keseh. Well, keseh means covered.
Right.
It's the word for chair or throne, which had a covering over it. Okay? And so, what is the new moon cover? What does that mean it's covered?
We can't see me.
You can't see it, it's covered up. But what they do, because they don't know the Jewish festivals, these Gentiles translate it as full moon because it's covered in light.
These were Jews that translated this.
Not that, that's NIV.
It's the Tree of Life.
Yeah, and they got it wrong.
Got it wrong.
They got it wrong. That's not NIV. Hold on. That's not NIV if that's the one I illustrate. I did TLV.
This is TLV.
Okay, they got it wrong. They got it wrong.
This one has both in verse 4 as well.
I don't know what you're saying.
The Jewish Study Bible, JPS Tanakh.
What does it say?
In verse 4, it says, blow the horn at the new moon on the full moon for our...
See, that's wrong. It says full moon there.
Has both.
Well, it always has both, except the right translations. There's a few translations that get it right. And it says at the covered moon. And that's what it says in Hebrew, at the covered. Keseh. On our feast day, L'yom Chagenu. For it is a statute for Israel, a judgment for the God of Jacob. He established it as a testimony in Yosef. But it doesn't say Yosef, it says Yehoseph. So God added a hey to his name too. Just like Avraham, Sarai, Sarah. He also added, and Hoshea, Yehoshua. He also added a hey to Joseph's name, Yehoseph. So you got to be careful when you're reading the scriptures that you look at, if you can.
Have to learn Hebrew.
Yes.
Because I don't know.
Yes, and you can do that with an interlinear.
Yeah.
If you get an interlinear, it goes through every single word, but you have to look up every single word in the concordance or in the interlinear concordance. Well, it's got to be online.
Oh,
All right.
Yeah.
No, it has to be, because if you're doing it online, you can just click on the word and it'll immediately go to the online Strong's Concordance, which is much, much, much fuller than a regular book concordance.
Yeah.
All right, so this is an amazing, amazing thing here. We don't have to guess. All we have to do is go to the sages, and they tell us exactly what the doctrine is and how it works. But you do have to do some digging, because if you just read that verse, you're going to go, oh, it's at the full moon. What date is the full moon?
On the 15th.
The 15th.
Rosh Chodesh is on the 1st.
Right, Rosh Chodesh is on the 1st.
And the only holiday is on the 1st.
Is Rosh Hashanah. Okay, what were you going to say?
Oh, I was going to say even in Safaria it says full moon.
Does it really?
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't surprise me, because Safaria's translation, unless you get the right one, it's jacked up all over the place. It's all right, because they got like 15 different translations on there. You got to pick the right one. All right. Don't lose the obvious point that God created MiKetz so we can get our minds where?
The end.
What's the end?
Birth
The day of
pangs.
the Lord.
The day of the Lord, the birth pangs of the day of the Lord. All right. He changed his clothes to go to be before the king, right? Why? He was pulled up. That's a picture of the resurrection.
So it's like getting a new body?
It's like getting a new body, right? 2 Corinthians 5. We know that if our earthly tent, which is our house, which is our body, he calls it a tent and a house, is torn down, we have a building from God, a house not made with hands, eternal in the heavens. For indeed, in this one we groan, longing to be clothed. You don't clothe somebody with a house or a tent. So the picture is house, tent, clothing. What is that? Our body.
Who's a tent?
Our body is a tent, it's a house, and what else is it? That's what I thought. Guys, you need to pay attention, because you're going to get lost, because we're layering things on top of things. And if you don't get each thing, you're going to get lost. So, we'll go through it again. If our earthly tent, which is our house, is torn down, we have a building, that's a house, from God, a house not made with hands. For indeed in this one we groan, longing to be clothed, clothing. So all three are synonyms for what?
Our body.
Our body, our human body. For indeed in this we groan, longing to be clothed with our dwelling from heaven. For since after putting it on, we won't be found naked. You don't put on a house. You don't put on a tent. You put on clothing. And so that's why it's a picture of the new body. For indeed, we who are in this tent groan, being burdened, because we don't want to be unclothed. We want to be clothed. Just like Joseph.
Right.
We're going to have a change of clothing. What date are we going to get our new body? Rosh Hashanah.
6,000.
Hold on. I want to say that a particular way.
All right.
After how many years will we get our new body?
7?
After 6,000.
6,000 years?
Or
Third day?
how many years?
6.
After 6,000 years, or after
3 days.
2 days.
how many years?
2,000.
2,000.
2,000.
Okay.
If you count from the death of Messiah,
There.
There are two.
yeah? If you count from the death of Messiah,
You're almost there.
yes. If you count from the death of Messiah, it's 2,000 years. If you count from the beginning, it's 6,000 years. Same time period. I don't even know if I should do this part because I'm having a hard time getting you to do simple, laying one simple picture on top of another. This gets complicated.
Do it.
Mercy.
You'll love it because it's numbers. Eileen will love it because it's numbers. This took me all day to do because I'm horrible with numbers.
It's awesome though.
I'll try it. I'll try. We'll see how it goes. Okay, in Hebrew, changed his clothes is Vaichalef Shimlotav. Vaichalef Shimlotav.
Okay.
That's how you write it in Hebrew. Our sages saw in those two words that Joseph was brought before Pharaoh on Rosh Hashanah. That's how they saw that he was brought on Rosh Hashanah.
Because he changed his clothes.
Because of the numbers in the letters.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just mind-blowing that they could see this stuff.
Huh.
And it says it, like we quoted Talmud Rosh Hashanah 11, what I read to you earlier. The numerical value of the letters in these two words is the same as in the words, I really need you to pay attention, please. Bechad Batishri. This is not the normal way to write on the first of Tishri.
She has that right here. So
Okay. Bechad Batishri.
In the first.
Hold on. This is not written properly.
Right, it's not.
Because in Leviticus 23, when it's talking about Rosh Hashanah, it doesn't say it like this.
No.
Bechad Batishri. Bechad Batishri. It says Ba'echad Tishri. That's all it says. So, a missing letter had letters added. Both. Okay, we'll try it. Vaichalef Shimlotav. Vaichalef, you add the numbers together. 6, 10, 8, 30, 80 equals 134. Shimlotav. Whoop. See that? The red vav? Do you see a vav in there?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You do? You see a vav here?
No.
No, no.
No, it's added.
It's added.
Well, at the very end.
No. Where the O is. Shimlo.
Oh, yeah, not there.
Shimlotav.
No, it's not there.
Okay, it's not there, right?
No.
So they added it. Is that okay? Yes, because many words in the Torah will have a missing vav and just a dot. And then some have the dot and then they add a vav, same sound. So it's okay. So they added that. Shimlotav. 340, 30, 6, 410, and 6. I added this 15 times. 792. And then I added them together and they came up with 926. Okay. Now, Bechad Batishri, which is not the way the scriptures say it. It says Ba'echad. It's missing an aleph. That would add one number, the number 1.
Right.
It would add one digit. Batishri. It doesn't say Batishri in Leviticus. It just says, yes it does. It says, no it doesn't. It just says Ba'echad Tishri. So they added this.
That another bit.
In the first Bechad in Tishri. And the numbers 2, 400, 300, 210 equals 912. And then Bechad 2, 8, and 4 equals 14. I added them together and got 926. And this is how they could tell that Yosef was taken up on Rosh Hashanah.
Close enough.
Mathematician.
But it's so amazing when you look at the gematria like that, because you see that the correlation between these two words or these two scriptures when there's that when they come up with the same number.
Okay, but think about this. They had to add
Right.
2 letters and take 1 away.
Right.
And this is their proof that Yosef was pulled up on Rosh Hashanah?
And it's okay to do that. Yeah.
Well, here's what I'm saying.
They say so.
We already have the picture. We already have the picture in Psalm 81. Clear. It's clear that it says it was on Rosh Hashanah and it's in Yosef. So we've already got it. That's when Yosef, when he went out on the land of Egypt. What does that mean? When he was pulled up out of prison. So we've already got it in the scriptures, and they could see this, and it was obvious. And they all said, okay, yeah, it's Rosh Hashanah, it's obvious. And then they started saying, like Eileen does, well, you know what I saw? And some sage goes, if you do the gematria like this, and it's a confirmation. But they already have the proof here in the scriptures. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool to me. I can't do it, but I can see how they did it. Eileen can do it, I can't do it. Okay. Now, look at this again, please. He was rushed from the pit. Our sages learn from this, rushed from the pit, that the redemption comes from what? Surus, troubles, the birth pangs. In other words, what they're saying is the resurrection happens at the same time as the birth pangs. That's what they're saying. Okay, here's a silly illustration.
Good dream.
It's a silly illustration of the dream, but look at it. The cows are sucking up the other cows like spaghetti. You see, it's silly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy, right? But I couldn't find anything else, and I didn't have the time to do one. So I used this. 7 good cows are 7 years, 7 good ears are 7 years, 7 thin cows are 7 years, and 7 thin ears are 7 years. So, how many time periods do we have?
4.
4 periods
You
of
got all
7.
them? 4 times 7? 4. 1.
The dreams are
Oh, wow.
1. Right. The dreams are 1. It's just different camera angles of the same thing. You got 7 good and 7 bad. 7 good and 7 bad. 7 good and 7 bad at the same time. Because the dreams are 1. Now, we have to... I'm not going to teach much on this. I'm just going to go over it very briefly. But we've done it before. It is extremely complicated. I remember learning this at a Messianic conference, and my head hurt after the teacher went through it. And then Joe Good taught it to me, and it was like, oh, that's simple. But when they were teaching it in a Messianic environment, it was so complicated because they tried to sound like PhDs. And it was really hard to follow. So I'm keeping it as simple as I can to try to teach it to you the way it was taught to me. Daniel 9:24 through 27 is called Daniel's 70 weeks. But they're weeks of years.
Right.
Just like the Shemitah, just like the Yovel, the Jubilee. It's weeks of years. 1 week is a 7-year period. 1 week. 70 weeks have been decreed. Okay, we're already confused. How many weeks?
70.
Of years. How many years is that?
490.
490 years. 70 weeks of years. So he says 490 years, but divided into week chunks, have been decreed for who? The Jews, your people, and for Jerusalem,
Right.
your holy city. So So everything about the 70 weeks is all about the Jews and about Israel or Jerusalem. All of it. To make an end of sin, to seal up vision and prophecy, and to anoint the most holy place. Now, it's a long passage, and see wherever there are ellipses, I've just cut out a whole bunch of words, just to make it simple. Know that from the issuing of a decree to restore and rebuild Jerusalem until Messiah will be 7 weeks of years. How many weeks is that? I'm sorry, how many years is that? 7 weeks.
49.
49 years. 7 weeks of years. 7 times 7. 49. That's 49 years. That decree was issued by Koresh, by Cyrus. And 62 weeks. Now there's another time period. 62 weeks. All right, 62 weeks is how many years, mathematicians? 482 maybe? I can't remember. What's 62 times 7? 62 times 7.
14. 42 and 14.
430.
You said 62 times 7?
Yes, ma'am.
430. 434.
434, thank you. So there's 49 years and then 434 years, and they're different time periods. Okay, you have 49 years, then a whole bunch of stuff happens, and then 430 years, and then Messiah comes. Until Messiah the Prince. All right? Now that equals 69 weeks. But God said, I'm giving you 70 weeks.
Right. There's one.
So what happened?
They're missing
What are we missing?
The final week.
The final.
We're missing
the last week.
1 week. How long is 1 week?
7 days.
No. How long is a week of years?
7.
7 years, right?
Okay, 7 1 week equals 7 years. Okay.
7 fat cows equals 7 years, and 7 skinny cows equals 7 years. 7 fat, plump, grain things equals 7 years, and 7 skinny, blighted, nasty, shriveled grain things equals 7 years. It's all the same picture.
Okay.
Only there's good ones and there's bad ones. But it's 7 years. So we are missing a week of years. So we're all left going, what? What should our question be to God?
Where to go?
Where's the last
Missing year.
Week of years.
The last
Week of years?
week.
week? Where's the last week?
Last week.
Where's the last week of years?
The Shabbat.
Week of years. How many years?
7.
7 years. Where's our missing 7 years? Okay. And its end will come with a flood, even to MiKetz. So in other words, I'm giving you 69 weeks, and then comes
Yeah.
MiKetz. So where's that last week?
In the MiKetz.
In the Ketz. Pretty simple, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Makes sense.
There will be war. Desolations are determined. All this horrible stuff in the Ketz. And the prince who is to come. Now, this isn't a good prince. This is the bad prince. But I chopped out a whole bunch so that you could see what's going on. This is the bad prince.
Gosh, it's the tribulation period.
Birth pangs. Yes. Yeah, it's in the Bible, it's called the tribulation. What you guys call the tribulation is called the birth pangs. But yes, absolutely right. How long do the birth pangs last? That's it. There it is. That's what's missing. The prince who is to come will make a covenant with many. There's our missing week.
Yeah.
So the false Messiah is going to make a covenant with the Jewish people
Coming soon.
for 7, don't get lost,
Okay.
for 7 years.
7 years.
What year starts it? What year? I mean year, not day, year. What
6,000.
number year?
6,000.
6,000? No, 6,000. 6,000, 6001.
Yeah.
Yes?
I think so.
Well, it doesn't matter what you think. We know. We know. Look.
Yeah.
We know.
Yes, no.
1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000. And then comes the day of the Lord, 6,000, or it's kind of like January 1st, 6001. Okay? Does that make sense?
Okay.
Yes.
Mike, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Okay, you know how Prince is Tsar? What is Nagid?
Nagid is a leader.
So he's not, this is like here in the Hebrew it says, you said he's not a good prince.
He's not. This is...
So a Nagid is like a bad prince?
No. I didn't want to get granular on this. It's too complicated.
Okay.
I told you I cut out a whole bunch. See the ellipses?
Yeah.
What it says, I guess I'll have to go through it now. What it says is, the people of the prince who is to come will destroy Jerusalem.
Not good, guys.
They're evil.
Who destroyed Jerusalem?
Bad guys.
After Messiah.
Islam,
Rome.
No, not Islam. Who destroyed the temple after
the
Yeshua?
Romans. It was
Rome,
the
Romans.
Empire.
That's the people of the prince who is to come.
Okay.
This is the prince who is to come. The people of the prince who is to come is Rome. Hellenism. Yes, Hellenism. So the prince who is to come is Hellenism. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes, it's, wow.
Okay. The prince who is to come will make a covenant. There's our missing week for 7 years. But in the middle of the week, after 3.5 years, he will put a stop to sacrifices and offerings. And this is the point of the whole teaching, what's in red here. Who will put a stop to sacrifices and offerings?
False Messiah.
The false Messiah.
The prince who is to come, the false Messiah, Hellenism, will put a stop to sacrifices and offerings. Yes?
That's the red heifer, right?
No. No. There's all the offerings, all the sacrifices, all of them. All the Todah and the Mincha and the Chatat and the Asham and the Todah. All the offerings and sacrifices. Who will put a stop to it?
Bad prince.
The prince who is to come, which is the false Messiah. Okay? Let's hold that in your head. On the wing of abominations, one who makes desolate, until a complete destruction is poured out on the one who makes desolate. This is called the abomination of desolation. Okay? Why are we looking at all this? We're talking about this. The dream. Why are we looking at Daniel's 70 weeks?
Because that's what it is.
That's what the dream is about.
Because it's 7 weeks, 7 days, 7 years. And it's missing. It's missing. That's what he saw. He saw the 7 missing years. Now they literally lived it out. They lived 7 years of good, and then 7 years,
Eating themselves, they're in
7 years of bad.
Right.
I mean, you can only live that one right after the other. You can't live them simultaneously. You have to live them consecutively. But in reality, it was a picture of them being simultaneous. Okay, here we go. This is what the Maccabees cleansed. One of the things that the Maccabees cleansed. Antiochus IV, in 167 BCE, erected an idol of himself as Zeus. I mean, I don't know what he really looked like. He could have been, 400 pounds and a big hook nose and bald. I don't know. But this is how he made himself look. Like Zeus, which is basically the false picture of Jesus. And I've gone through that whole history of where this image came from. Started with Alexander. It didn't end with him. It ended with Sauromates in the year 220 CE, our time. But in the middle of that time, in 167, he stuck that image up on the altar. And it was what, if we saw, we'd go, oh my God, that's Jesus Christ. That's what everybody would say. That's Jesus Christ. Because that's the God-man of Hellenism, was that that image. Now what it says is a covenant, he'll make a covenant with the many for 7 years, for 1 week. But in the middle of that week, he will put a stop to sacrifices and offerings. The false Messiah puts a stop to the sacrifices and offerings, right? But that's why the church blesses Christ. He's the final sacrifice. That's what they're blessing Jesus for. Oh, thank God he's the final sacrifice. In other words, he put an end.
Put a stop to it.
But that's what the false Messiah does. Not the Messiah. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Hellenism is what puts an end to sacrifices, not Yeshua. He was not the final sacrifice. There's not a verse that says that. I want you to really give this some thought. In my pictures book, I go over each and every point that feeds into this false doctrine of Christ is the final sacrifice. There's not a single verse that says this. It's a mistranslation and a misunderstanding of Romans 3 that says that Messiah is the target, telos, of the Torah. But they translate it as end. He's the end of the law. End of the law. Like, no mas. But what it says in Greek is he's the telos of the Torah, the target of the Torah.
It's a bullseye.
But bullseye, right. It also says in Hebrews 10, it says at verse 1 that the sacrifices were a shadow, a picture, to teach us about Messiah. And then it says the Messiah came. And then they put those two together and go, oh, you see, there's no more law. No more law, no more sacrifices. But it doesn't say that. What it says is Messiah is that the sacrifices are a shadow of the Messiah. In other words, you look at the shadow, you see the Messiah. You look at the sacrifices, you see the Messiah. You take that teaching tool away, and how are you possibly going to see the Messiah? You can't. So that's what they did with Hellenism. They took, you know the story of Hanukkah. They went into the temple, they defiled, they stopped the sacrifices, they sacrificed a pig and other unclean animals that are unclean to us on the altar. On the altar. They defecated and urinated all over the temple. They took all the treasures, all of them, from the temple, and they set this fool up on the altar. So, who put a stop to the sacrifices? Jesus? No. No. Hellenism. And yet, the story is told every single Sunday for the last 2,000 years, almost, that Christ did away with the sacrifices. He's the final sacrifice. When in reality, it's just the opposite. It's the false Messiah who did it then, and he's going to do it again. Physically do it when there's a temple. He's physically going to put a stop to the sacrifices. And on the wing of abominations, one who makes desolate. That's the abomination of I don't like that phrase, abomination of desolation, because it's not biblical, but whatever. Makes it easy to understand. Until a complete destruction is poured out on the one who makes desolate. And this Antiochus did in Kislev 25, 167 BCE. Now it's prophesied that it was going to happen in Daniel 9:27 and 11:31. And it talks about what's called the abomination of desolation in those two passages. And it says it's in the MiKetz.
Right.
And yet Antiochus did it. So what does that tell us? Antiochus is a perfect picture of the false Messiah. Just like Alexander. And what did Antiochus enforce? Hellenism. Just like Alexander. It's pretty amazing to me. So that is the point of the whole teaching. If you like forget everything else, just remember this salient point. There's two of them. Number one, that it's Hellenism that does away with Judaism, does away with the sacrifice. It's not Yeshua, not Jesus. Number one. Number two, that there's 7 years coming. And Pharaoh saw it in a dream, and Joseph lived it out and interpreted it and all that. So, why 7 years on top of 7 years? Here's why. Because at the same time, running concurrently, you have 7 years in heaven and 7 years on earth. You have the 7 years of the heavenly marriage and the 7 years of the birth pangs. It's that simple. Well, how can you live that out? You can't. You're right. You can't live it out on earth. They have to be consecutive. But they're a picture of them being concurrent at the same time.
Both great and terrible.
Both great and terrible.
So do you think like we'll be like maybe in a different dimension as these things are happening on the earth? Like
We're going to be in the chuppah, baby.
But
We're going to be in the
Look
chuppah.
at the picture is
You'll be in
there where it says the
Messiah,
heavenly
Shabbat.
marriage. See the couple?
We're going to be in the chuppah for 7 years.
We're gonna be
Different
sealed.
but is it in a different dimension, like a spiritual dimension?
Well, we're
I
already.
don't
No, we won't be here.
know.
We'll be.
We'll have
That's what I'm asking.
hold
Different
on.
dimension.
We'll have a resurrected body, so you tell me.
Okay.
I don't know the answer to that. What do you think? What do you think? Okay, cool. We'll have a resurrected body.
Oh, that's
We'll be in space
We'll be in
on a
space.
spaceship.
And what kind of people?
You were so close to a good answer.
You were almost there.
Almost there. Okay.
You're gonna be here.
Okay, so let me give you a little quiz. What year did the birth pangs start?
6,000.
6,000 or 6,001.
6000, 6001. What year does the heavenly wedding end?
6,007.
6,007.
6007, beginning of 6008. Actually, you're 10 days into the year 6008. That's okay. Very good. You got it?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay. Now, what year is the what year is the, quote, abomination of desolation going to happen?
The middle of 6,004.
Give me a year.
6,004.
Oh, you did give me a year.
3.5 years
You did give me a year. Yeah, 6004.
in the middle of the year.
And we also know when that date is going to be. But don't do it now because there's a little trick to it.
Right.
And that's really the whole story. That is the whole story of the 7 fat cows, 7 skinny cows, 7 plump ears, 7 skinny ears, and why it's 2 dreams and why they are one. That's the whole story. So what you need to do is you need to study these 7 years. You need to be able to see these 7 years so clearly that you know exactly where to find it in the scriptures and it becomes part of you and you can describe it to anybody. Does that make sense? You do that the rest of your life. Let's pray. Abba, thank you that the 2 are one. That the 2 dreams are one dream. That the heavenly marriage is at the same time as the birth pangs. That all your images overlap perfectly. And your time, you didn't leave us ignorant about your times, and you even say that. You are not ignorant of the times and epochs that I need to tell you anything, because you've told us. And I thank you that it's all in your Torah. I thank you for the words of the sages that give us wisdom. And I ask that you would begin to open up the collective mind of your body, and that they would begin to see and understand all the pictures you gave us in Judaism. In the name of Yeshua, I thank you for revealing your Messiah, Yeshua, to the Gentiles. The real Messiah, not Jesus Christ. The real Yeshua, the Messiah. And I ask that there'd be a wedge that would get driven deeper and deeper and deeper between those 2, that invented character and the Messiah that you sent. Thank you, Abba. Amen. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.